Welcome to Chica Clips and Chaos. This video contains copyrighted material that may not have been authorized by its owner. We use it for purposes like commentary, criticism, news reporting, teaching, awareness, and research under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowing fair use for these purposes.
I don't advertise
Not
anywhere.
like BJ, we're not gonna let you plug your channel in here.
I don't plug my channel, B-Tim. I don't. I've heard you say that a couple times.
But it's
Listen,
true.
It's not.
All right,
wait a second.
yeah, let's go
I'm
back to
gonna
the
get
stuff
the
with
point.
Laura.
I am, but B-Tim, listen, I've never said anything bad about you, but I've heard you saying things. I don't plug my channel, not even over on BJ's.
Well, yeah, it's a
I've
shit
never
channel
asked her.
anyways, but let's go.
All right, so what I wanted to say is that I am coming up here in front of everyone, you guys and Laura, to apologize for what I've said in regards to her son. I thought about things, and no matter what's done or said to me, I feel like I'm losing myself more and more out on these YouTube streets. And that's all I wanted to say. Nothing more, nothing less.
Hey, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, it's...
Yep. Listen, you can talk about it, not talk about it, whatever. I'm going to hop down, but that's all I have to say.
Well, I think it's fair to let Laura respond, at least when she's up here. You know what I'm saying? I think
Okay.
it's, you know...
Yeah, sure.
Apology accepted. I'm sorry if you think that I spoke on your daughter, but I did not.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's-
God.
One thing, I'm not going to be fake, B Tim. I'm sorry.
You
I'm
don't have
not.
to be fake,
It's
Laura.
the worst
Listen.
thing to say. I'm
But you,
sorry
gotta-
that
you don't have to say the I didn't, but. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay.
Because I didn't.
Laura, I know what you're trying. I know what you're trying to say, and I know what you're trying to say, and I know what you're trying to do. But here's my thing: I didn't have any beef with you. You weren't my cup of tea, and you didn't like a couple things I said, and then it spun out. You shouldn't have brought anything about Alyssa. Whether you know what I mean, you weren't doing it in a good heart. You weren't doing it with my or her best interest at play. You shouldn't have brought her up. You shouldn't have showed her videos. And the thing that got me so mad was that whether it was intentional or not, you were saying things that weren't true. And one of them was about the guy Bryce. All right, and the people that were covering her story, and a lot of people here.
Yes, okay, I do want to ask you, because you said that was the comment about the grandma, right? Where you tried to explain it to me, and I was like, what the fuck is that? I don't care about it. I don't want to hear about that. Is that what the fuck you girls were talking about?
Well, that's what she was talking about, and it
Okay,
was something.
all right.
She did make a mistake. She said that he are his grandmother, which wasn't the case, but that wasn't the problem. Laura, you took it next level, and you were like, that's who she hung out with, and da-da-da-da. And I'm just going to let you know now. Hold on, please. Hold on, and let me talk, please. She didn't hang out with him. She was introduced to him twice, and per the detectives, he was blocked on her cell phone and all her social media. She wasn't friends with someone like that, but it was what you were running with, trying to insinuate that I was a bad mom. I didn't watch everything she did. Bitch, I was on her in and out, even at 23. And that hurt my heart, okay? It hurts.
Yeah, let Laura respond.
I apologize for that. It came from your TikTok, though.
That's
I didn't
not on my
just make
TikTok.
something up.
Laura, that's not on my TikTok.
It's on. I showed it last night.
You showed it last night, and you
Wait,
corrected me.
Melissa, she let you talk for like a good 2 minutes. Let her talk.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
That is on your TikTok. This is who she was with that night, and you pointed out how he are his friend's mother. So I was wrong about the grandmother, but it's right on your TikTok. That's where I got it from. There's a video on your TikTok stating this.
I've made the videos, I know, but that's not what I stated. You corrected yourself, but that's not the problem.
Well, yeah, but right there, well,
that's not the problem.
it is corrected. You did correct yourself. It's not the grandma, it was the mother, but she said,
Right,
you know,
but
that
that's
wasn't
not-
the main issue. The main issue was... Go
You
ahead.
insinuating that, I'm a piece of shit mother, and maybe
you
my
said
daughter
that
would be
I lied
alive.
about that. You just said that I lied about that, and I didn't lie. Right from your TikTok.
You made a mistake, Laura. You just said you made a mistake. Right.
I said grandmother instead of someone's mother.
Okay, but I just said that's not the issue. The issue is how you ran with it and saying things like my daughter'd be here if I watched who she hung out with and this and that. You don't know the ins and outs. And that's very harsh. And there was more stuff about you saying that I videotaped her while she's half nude and stuff. That's not the case.
I don't know
Anyway,
who videotaped it.
Then you shouldn't say that, Laura.
And
You shouldn't say
when did I
that.
feel this, Melissa, after you
It's
sat on the
Laura,
panel.
no, Laura. And yes, I've said a couple things about you, but at that point, I had never brought up your kid or your parenting ever. But listen. For me, it's water under the bridge. I'm done with it. I just don't want to become Laura. I'm sorry, but I don't want to become you. I don't want to become you, and I don't want this to be history and history. Maybe you're trying to right your wrongs in situation right now. I'm gonna let you have that. You do that, but I don't want to be 3 years later coming up on Queen Bee's panel talking about all the things I did and said and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I have a question for you, Melissa. How do you feel
Go
about
ahead.
the text messages, like the message from BJ coming out that basically she was talking shit about you?
It was
That's
a
what I
voice,
want to know.
yeah, it was a voice clip. Okay, it wasn't a text. It was a voice clip, and that was when her and I had a falling out when I was sitting with.
You don't know when it was from, to be fair. Just let's keep it real.
Well,
Because she's been talking shit about you for a while now.
It alludes to that. Hold on.
Melissa.
It alludes to that, Queen, because she's fighting with Sinner at that point. You know what I'm saying? And they've only had one big fight. So it kind of lines up and matches up. Am I happy about it? Hell no.
You can, package it however you want to. I'm just saying.
Melissa, I have a question. How could you go from waking Brittany up, asking her to back up off her mic, going to the limb, going to the limb and talking shit about it, and then going back to BJ? I do not understand that at all. Are you content with having to wake her up?
If I consistently have to wake her up, I won't be there because I'm not going to do that with anybody.
Well, that's your future if you stay. Just letting you know.
I just don't hate her.
Changing.
I don't hate her. There's a lot of things I like about her.
You don't have to hate her. I don't think anyone's asking you to. I'm just.
I enjoy her company. Like I've enjoyed Queen's company. And
what does it add? What value does it add to your life besides having someone chew and snore in your ear?
Maybe she likes the
chewing. Doesn't bother me. I mean, chewing don't bother me. Listen. When I'm there and I'm on panel, I have a good time with her. I have a good time with her.
Well, I just feel like it's a little bit enabling. I'm just gonna say that. That's all I had to add.
Okay.
Who was the person that made the comment about trying to date Laura's son?
I made the comment. I made the comment after there was 2 or 3 times where she had brought up me and my parenting and daughter. I made that comment, but
can we admit that's gross? If you were a guy
exactly
saying
what
that
I'm
about
apologizing for.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm apologizing for. It was fucking next level, and I shouldn't have said it.
I'm glad to hear you apologize for that, because if you were a man saying that about someone's barely 18 teenage daughter, you'd be dragged.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's not okay. It was gross.
That's like me saying that's like me saying if someone I didn't like had a daughter.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get your daughter. You know what I mean? I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm trying to go for an 18-year-old girl is fucking weird.
I know. You're absolutely right. It was next level.
I think it was a point of saying you can, but she's lucky you don't. Like as if he would have any interest in a 40-year-old woman. Like 18-year-olds don't normally look for that. So weaponizing your sexuality against someone vulnerable and young is wrong. And I'm glad to hear you apologize.
Yeah, like I said, I apologize. It was really just to piss her off. There was nothing more behind that at all, you know? That's why I'm here. That's what I'm apologizing for and trying to take ownership on, okay?
I hear you.
All right. Thank you guys for being respectful, and thank you for letting me out.
Okay, bye.